So what the F did I even just read? That's right, we're back with some more insane stories.
Am I out of my mind? Am I losing my senses?
And I cannot react to these stories alone, all right? First story, my married sister and boyfriend had drunk sex yesterday. Boyfriend as in your boyfriend? I've read a story like this before. I mean, I've read a lot of stories where people hook up with their siblings' partner, so it's a lot more common than you think, that says a lot.
Oh my God, ew, David.
Basically, I'm saying no faith in humanity. This story came February 20th, 2019. I still can't believe it, really. We've been together for 4 years and everything has been going so well. We recently signed a new lease too. I can't believe that it's my sister. I can't really put into words how I feel. I just need to vent right now. She asked if she could stay at our apartment for some time because she had a very big fight with her husband. I asked my boyfriend and he was fine with it, so she came over. In hindsight, I bet you'll regret that decision.
Hindsight being 2020.
They have a dead bedroom, and it's one of the reasons for their many fights. He has no sex drive, and they haven't had sex in over a year. She looked a little bit upset and brought a bottle of tequila with her. Around 9 p.m. or so, she opened the bottle and she joked about drinking away the pain. My boyfriend joined her, and he doesn't usually drink. I didn't have any because I had work tomorrow, but he didn't. I went to bed soon after and they kept talking and I figured that it would help them connect more. I woke up at 1 a.m. and I went to the bathroom. My boyfriend was still not in our bed and that's when I heard a loud moaning from the living room. I made my way to the hallway as quiet as possible and I saw my sister with no bra on, obviously riding my boyfriend. There's a sight you'll never get out of your head. She didn't care about all the noise that she was making. I couldn't see him because of the couch, but I didn't want to. I went to bed and I cried myself to sleep. I just didn't know what to do. I was woken up by my boyfriend somewhere during the night. He was not even close to being coherent and making absolutely zero sense. He stumbled and fell and went into the bathroom. This morning, when I woke up, I found him lying next to the toilet with throw up on his shirt. I woke him up and I asked him if he was okay. He just said he had a very bad hangover and looked very confused. He says he can't remember a single thing from last night. How convenient. So I showed him the empty bottle in the living room. He just laughed and said it had been a long time since he blacked out on alcohol. My sister was already awake and I asked her how she slept and how much they had to drink. She said my boyfriend drank most of the bottle and that they both went to bed around midnight. She definitely acted strange. I just can't believe why they would lie like this. I left for work and my boyfriend called as usual during our lunch break. He said he was feeling better and acted like nothing happened. He could tell by my responses that I was upset and asked if I was all right. I told him I was fine and I left it at that. I need to go home within an hour or so. I told my boyfriend I have to run some errands, but I'm just sitting in my car crying. I feel so hurt and betrayed. I literally can't believe it. The two most important people in my life went behind my back. I feel disgusted and lost. How you did not say anything in the moment or react and just went to bed and cried and you're still just pretending. Like the second I even looked at them or the next day even looked at them, there is no way I could keep my cool. No acting class could prepare me for that scene, you know? The only Oscar I'm winning is for the absolute manic episode I'm about to have. We have an update and it came the next day, February 21st. Why didn't I do something when I saw them? I guess people have different reactions to certain situations. I was too shocked to do anything and I just went back to bed. I decided to talk to my boyfriend first. I tried going into it open-minded, but I was still very emotional. I took him in our bedroom and I asked him if he remembered anything from that night. He asked me why, and I told him that I had seen something happen, and that's why I was upset. He looked really surprised at this point, and he just went quiet. I asked him again, and he didn't respond. This was enough for me. So I stood up and I wanted to walk out when he told me to wait. He said that he made a really big mistake, but to please hear him out. I lost it right then and there. I started screaming and yelling, told him to get the F out of my house. My sister came into the room and she started crying and telling me to please calm down and allow them to explain. My boyfriend told her that they should leave, and they did. I was hysterical when they left. I started drinking and I passed out in my bed. I haven't answered any of their phone calls or opened their messages. I truly have no words for how I feel. It all feels like a game. Life doesn't feel the same, and I'm done. I told a friend what happened and she's been with me since, but there's that. I feel relieved and I no longer have to worry about my problems though. I mean, I'm glad you're finally reacting to it, but I don't know if there's any coming back from a situation like this. I don't know how you would, but we will find out because we have the final update. The final update came 10 days later. We are now at March 3rd. The day after they left, I was broken. I still am, actually. Obviously, we broke up, and he is okay with me staying at our place for now, but that's the only positive thing so far. He collected some of his stuff when I went to see a friend. I still haven't seen him in real life. He tried to reach out to me multiple times, but I've only been texting him when it's necessary. My sister stopped trying after the first day, and I don't think she really has any remorse. After he got his crap, I've been emotionally numb, can't really describe it. Since Thursday, I've been starting to feel very depressed again, and I've been drinking more. No. Feeling numb felt better, to be honest. I haven't been to work. My friend called them, and I believe I can take as much time as I want, so there's that. I called her husband. Oh yeah, I forgot she has a husband. Well, she did too that night. I called her husband, but he didn't pick up. I tried a few more times, but eventually I got a text saying to not contact him ever again. I don't know what she told him, but I really don't care, to be honest. The truth will come out eventually. It sucks that I have no proof though. As far as I know, my parents don't know, and I'm keeping it that way. I don't know where to go from here. I'm keeping all my options open for now. It would probably be a good idea to go to work again, but I have absolutely zero energy. I just want to be free. Luckily, my friends have been there for me. Girl, I don't even blame you. I don't know how a situation like this does not send you into a deep depression. You know, you'll never get that visual out of your head, and your own sister. Forget the boyfriend, your sister. No. Ugh. Next story. Me, 37 male, trying to deal with potential stalker, 24 female. This story came June 5th, 2015. So I have what my buddies describe as a crazy dream. I have this really hot new hire that seems to be into me, which would normally be great, but she's also super young and potentially a stalker. Very important detail. For sure. Here is the deal. We work in the same building, but not on the same project or anything. We cross paths in the cafeteria and in the garage, but outside of that, we don't really interact on a daily thing. Our first meeting was back in April at the office happy hour thing. It seemed to be a pleasant conversation, and we hit it off for a few hours, and then we went our separate ways. We would cross paths a few times in the hall or the company cafeteria, but would just smile or stop and make small talk. Then, about 2 weeks ago, I was sitting outside having lunch by myself, and she came and joined me out of the blue. We laughed and joked and then finished up, and I went back to work. When I came out that night to leave for work, she was sitting on my motorcycle waiting for me. Oh. She asked if I would take her for a ride around the block, but I explained to her that I only had one helmet and riding in our city without one could get us a ticket. I know, weak excuse, and my buddies gave me flack for it, but honestly, I am weird about safety when I ride. Understandable. I told her maybe another time, and then I went home. 2 days later, I am at the gym finishing up, and I get a tap on my shoulder. It's the intern. We talk, and she told me that she just joined, to which I thought nothing about, and then I just went on my way. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking of maybe asking her out, but I really don't want to screw around with my job and career just over a hot girl who I may or may not have anything in common with. I talked it over with friends, and well, many feel the same, with a few that live for the moment and others that put more thought into actions. The next day, last week, she joined me for lunch again. We got to talking some more, and she told me she wasn't sure about joining a gym, but after talking to a few people and seeing that I worked out there, she definitely wanted to give it a shot. Fast forward to last night, where I got a strange knock on my door. Like your home door? I open it up, And who is there? You guessed it, the intern girl. She said she was in the neighborhood and wanted to know if I wanted to go out for dinner and some beers. I mean, taking the stalker aspect out of it, I give her like mad props for the approach of, I really want to go out with him, I'm just gonna knock on his door and ask him to go out. Creepy, how'd you get my address? But flattering. Now I am a bit creeped out and I asked her how she knows where I live, to which she states she peeked at the employee file. She works in HR as an intern. I tell her that this is not acceptable and I ask her to leave because I already have plans, to which she apologizes and leaves. Now, I know she is young and some of this might be just mistakes, but I am honestly a little freaked out by this. I don't know if I should report it to HR where she works or just let it go. I mean, I don't think I've done anything to lead her on. I've not asked her out, slept with her, or even done anything outside of having lunch with her. I'm not trying to get her fired or ruin her career and mine in any way. One of my friends seems to think that if I just went out with her, it would calm her down. But I don't think I want to encourage the behavior and end up with a dead animal nailed to my door or something. I'm not sure if I can go to HR and say, hey, your intern is looking into my personal file and showing up where I work and at my home, if they would even believe it. She also seems genuinely nice and sincere in conversation, so I don't want to ruin her life if it is just a stupid mistake that we make as a young person type of thing. I also don't want to assume that because of this she's interested in me and then try to have a talk with her and have her come across as if I'm at fault here. What is the best way for me to protect myself and proceed from here? Am I overreacting or making a big deal out of nothing? I think someone showing up at your house by looking at the address in an employee file is absolutely inappropriate and creepy. Even if they're hot.
Not even if her mom's hot.
Sorry guys, but it does not matter. I also don't think if you went out with her that she'd be any less crazy. If anything, this could just be the tip of the iceberg, you know? We have an update, and it came June 5th. I reached out to the head of department and I sent him an email over the weekend explaining my situation and my talk with the HR director. After that, I went about my weekend and I put it out of my mind. With that said, there were a few times when my phone would go off. I would get a bit nervous that I would get a message or call from her, but that subsided. In fact, when I walked through the doors this morning, I really had started feeling better about the whole situation, like everything was back to normal. An hour had passed, then all of a sudden, my department head pulled me into his office and sat me down. He and I go way back to when I first started working here, so he told me that he had talked to HR and he was not allowed to discuss anything with me until they had spoken to me first. He then told me to consider my options before I signed my paperwork and then walked me up to HR. Now, I'm a grown man, but I have to admit that walk and the elevator ride up to HR was the most uncomfortable silence and elevator ride that I have ever experienced in a while. It was like being marched to the principal's office and you were not sure why. My stomach was in knots and thoughts of getting a lawyer or finding a new job started jumping into my head. By the time I had sat down in the HR director's office, I felt like I was going to jump out of my skin. The HR director sat me down and went over what I had reported on Friday before leaving for the day. She kept saying that she wanted to make sure I wasn't leaving out any detail or if I had any video or audio proof of what I claimed. At this point, I felt like I was on trial or something, so I started asking why I would have any of that or even be prepared to document my life in such a way when up till her showing up to my house, I have never put any thought about her being anything other than friendly. She then told me that they found my records have been reviewed as well as others, but I was the only one that had come forward with anything. As many of you can imagine, I was confused at what was going on and I was a bit scared, so I asked her flat out what was going on. She told me that as of today, the intern had been fired, and if I wanted to pursue legal matters against her, like restraining orders or breach of privacy, the company would provide me full support and back me up legally with lawyers. I am also at this time getting 2 years free of credit monitoring and insurance. The company would not bring up legal recourse against the intern unless I wanted to. There was mention of offers for counseling and such, but I let them know I wouldn't be needing it as nothing outside of her showing up happened. They let me know I have 48 hours to take all the paperwork to my lawyers and think about what I would like to do. But as of right now, I don't think I have anything to worry about. I talked to my director after the meeting and he told me that the company at this time is afraid that I will sue, which he doesn't recommend, but I don't have to worry about my job. I told him I wouldn't be pressing charges against her as she already lost her job, and well, I just feel like that would be taking it too far. He had a different feeling about it, but also told me that he might have handled the situation differently if he wasn't married and it had happened to him. It does not stop there, which makes me wonder if it did in fact become a legal thing. We have a final update, and it came 4 days later. We're now at June 9th. My lawyers reviewed and drafted up a response statement. I signed 3 out of all of the packets and submitted the response statement with the 4th and 5th. I know many of you say report her and press charges, but here's the thing. According to my lawyer, that kind of makes her unemployable. I'm not looking to ruin her life, but restraint orders and charges pressed makes her really unemployable. I'm not saying this for any other reason than to be a simple human being. The letter I submitted states that I am taking this chance and I reserve the rights to press charges / restraining orders for a later date if further contact pursues. As for identity theft and such, I plan to take full advantage of it, and I have requested proof that there was a breach to my information through the HR department. True, because she could have more than just your address. If she snooped through all your files, ooh, what else would be on there? This, I am told, is only to be used if I do have my identity stolen so that I can assist with stopping it, and from talking to HR, this isn't a problem. I know I need to protect myself, and I realize that this could be potentially dangerous. However, I don't feel the need to push the envelope and ruin another human's life. She's already unemployed and may have a hard time finding another job in the field. I don't wish to compound that in such a way as to make her unemployable. All right. I'm curious if you guys would feel that way. Would you guys have been equally as creeped out, or would you have been flattered, or would you have been going out with her because you saw it? Let me know your thoughts. We got some more crazy stories, but you know the drill. I need a sip of water, and you do too. I don't make the rules. Cheers. It's Hydration Station. I saw the short on my other channel. This is what I ended up using, this little dish that I thrifted. It matches my new desk perfectly, so I just put all my pens in here. That's what I end up using it for. I might switch it. I did like the idea of someone saying you could put your keys in it and leave it by the front door. But for now, this is what we have. Next story, kept the birth of my child private and now I'm paying for it. How private? How do you even keep that private? That would be so hard. Let's find out. This story came March 6th, 2026. I had a baby just over a month ago. My husband and I decided we wanted everything about the delivery to be private, no visitors at all. We just thought it might reduce some stress and we felt it was an intimate moment for the two of us to share. Anyway, my delivery was long and hard and it ended with a C-section. We ended up not telling anybody that our baby was born until about 24 hours after the fact because we were just exhausted and wanted to be sure that nobody showed up without an invitation. My husband's family reacted so well to the news, they were super excited for us. My parents did not react well. My dad blew up on us saying that we should be ashamed of ourselves and how dare I break the news so late to them since they, quote, helped pay for my college, came to emergency situations, and raised me. My mom then sent me and my husband a message basically guilting us for the decision we made and for not telling them sooner. The next day, my dad sent me this long, hateful message essentially saying that I did my parents wrong, I'm abusive, and my husband is abusing me. My husband is literally perfect, so I don't even know where this came from. And that I will be, quote, on an island alone with no love and support. Gee, thanks, Dad. I responded and said I was sorry that their feelings were hurt. I tried to understand where all these accusations were coming from, that I thought it was not right that we were getting treated this way for a decision that was our hours to make, and that I was hurt that he would treat me this way and not even ask how I was doing so freshly postpartum when I am already dealing with enough as it is. I've never had a baby, but I know enough about postpartum from my friends to know that adding more stress during that time, what an awful thing to do. My dad basically blew me off and said he didn't ask how I was doing because I should just be giving this information without him having to ask, and that he would not be following the rules we made for our child because we do not control him, and to not bother inviting him to see me and the baby because he is done and he told me to have a good life. The whole situation is sad, and this reaction is just insane. My dad hasn't spoken to me since, and I don't feel like I should reach out at this point, even though I feel sad about things going this way. My mom eventually said she felt bad for the way she acted, but is now acting like nothing ever happened, and I don't know how to feel about that. I just want to know if I'm missing something and treating them poorly. I feel in my core that I just want it to be done because it feels so exhausting pretending everything is fine, but I also don't want to lose contact with my family. This is just confusing and frustrating. Parents out there, I would love for you to chime in because you know the experience firsthand of giving birth and wanting privacy or not. I would love to hear your thoughts. We have an update over a month and a half later. It is now April 28th, 2026. So my dad still isn't talking to me. He hasn't seen my baby, hasn't reached out, nothing. Honestly, the whole not talking to me thing isn't even what makes me so upset. It's that apparently his pride and entitlement is more important than knowing my baby. It's so hard to not just boil over the fact that he's acting this way. My grandma, my dad's mom, accidentally sent a text that was clearly not meant for me. She was texting me asking how we were doing, and I replied that we were doing good and that I was taking baby's 1-month pictures and that I would send her some of them when I finished. About 5 minutes later, she texted, quote, "My name is taking baby's 1-month pictures," and that she would send them. Okay. She was clearly meaning to send that to someone else. If you don't want pictures of my baby, just say that. Maybe I'm reading too far into that text, but it just got me so angry because I'm confident that was meant for my dad to get him pissed off. Just a little more context to why that would piss him off. We asked everyone that was going to receive pictures of our baby to not post them or send them to anyone, and my dad lashed out at me saying that I wasn't going to control how he loves his grandbaby, as if exploiting the baby is a way to love. Okay. Anyway, this was really disappointing because I've always had a good relationship with my grandmother, but now I feel like I can't trust her. On top of that, she went from texting me several times a week to not talking to me for 3 weeks straight, then proceeded to text my mom and sister asking if I was okay because she hadn't heard from me, as if I have been ignoring her. This whole thing with her just has me irritated. I let my mom come to visit once. The visit went fine, but I can't help but feeling like our relationship is ruined. I did not enjoy the visit. I just felt the memories of what happened immediately postpartum looming over my head. I'm just waiting for the day she suggests that I reach out to my dad, which I will not be doing. My mom does things that makes me so angry, like asking my sister to send her pictures of my baby when she knows the rules are nobody is supposed to send pictures of my baby to anyone. My sister never sends her the pictures. My sister has been so amazing. I don't know what I would do without her. Mom asking my sister for pictures makes me feel like she doesn't care about the boundaries that we set, and she has no problem being sneaky to get what she wants. Another thing she keeps saying is, when are y'all coming down to visit? Visit for what? To hang out until my dad comes home and a big fight breaks out in front of my baby? For him to just get what he wants after treating me and my husband like garbage? No thanks. Sometimes I wonder if I'm overreacting to all of these things. I'm just so physically tired with everything that comes with my baby. I adore my baby. That child is the light of my life. It's just hard. I think I have some postpartum rage or depression or something that really amps up my feelings in regards to all of this. I am just so incredibly angry about it all. Some days I can forget about it if I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and just keep busy. Other days I feel myself myself just stewing in anger and sadness over how my family has been perfectly comfortable treating me, my husband, and my sweet baby. I can't even process the entitlement that they felt on the day that is so sacred to you that you can literally choose to do what you want in that moment, and that he's so stuck in that still. I don't know. I'm thinking of one word. Are y'all thinking it too? Let's say it on 3 together, okay? 1, 2, 3. Narcissist. Let me know your thoughts though, okay? I'll see you guys in the comment section. Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.